Hi everyone, today, we're going to take a look at the 5 best point and shoot camera for low light on the market for this year. First we're going to show you our 5 best picks, then we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a best point and shoot camera for low light. You can find timestamps and links to all the products we mention in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. Finding the right camera can be challenging, but finding the right camera for a specific kind of photography adds another layer of complications onto your purchase. Whether you're a seasoned professional looking for a competitive edge, or a curious newbie who's only ever shot smartphone pictures, everyone knows that shooting in low light can be a blurred, noisy nightmare if you aren't packing the right gear. Fortunately for you, we've gathered 5 of the best cameras for low light photography, so they should be up to the task for whatever you have planned. If you choose to video the guide, you'll know what to look for next time you make a purchase, and so there will be less chance of you being left in the dark. Capturing the perfect low-light image is a profoundly satisfying moment for every photographer. However, trying to pick the best point and shoot camera for low-light photography is no simple task. There are a number of factors to consider that can get overwhelming all too quickly, especially if you are a beginner. This post will guide you through the fundamentals when it comes to picking out the best point and shoot cameras for low-light photography. Number 1. Panasonic Lumix FZ1000 point and shoot camera for low light. Coming from an established household name in the world of cameras, our top product is the Panasonic Lumix FZ1000. This camera is one from a series intended to be able to tackle challenging light levels, hence the Lumix name. This model has a large 1-inch 20.1 megapixel MOS sensor that's good at coping with low light levels. As the name has mentioned, it shoots photos and videos in 4K. This is done at 30p for videography with hybrid 8MP video frames grabbed as photographs. It uses the Leica DC lens, which is bright and very sharp at 25,400 mm, but is capable of macro photography down to 3 cm. The lens is stabilized by a hybrid optical image stabilizer that features 5-axis correction so that blur occurs less often, and one-handed shooting is a possibility open for you. One of the features that made this model stand out above the rest was its integrated smartphone compatibility via the Panasonic Image app, allowing for remote imaging control as long as you have that app and a Wi-Fi connection. You get all of the above for what we think is a humble price, too, but everything has its flaws, and so we thought we'd address some concerns others have had, for the sake of transparency. One criticism is that it lacks a touchscreen like other, more compact models in the Lumix family, and so can seem unwieldy to some with all of its buttons. Whilst that will be a problem for some, we should point out larger cameras are usually more ideal for soaking in as much light as possible. Another is that it can make whirring noises and seems to look old-fashioned compared with a lot of other cameras on the scene nowadays, but this is a largely subjective complaint and isn't guaranteed to be the case with you, so if you like the sound of this model you should give it a try. Number 2. Canon EOS 80D point and shoot camera for low light. The body of this camera has a sleek, matte black finish that looks good in your hands, but the real features of this camera that you're interested in is its capabilities. It has an intelligent viewfinder that makes shooting wide-angled photographs simpler than ever and uses autofocus points to ensure consistent quality where it matters in all photographs, big or small. It has a 24.2 megapixel CMOS sensor that ensures high-resolution imaging, but what really made this camera earn its place on the list is the fact that it has refined individual pixels that enable high ISO speeds, which determines how well this camera performs in low light. It can hit 16,000 ISO for photographs and 12,800 for video, which should be ample for most dimly lit environments. You should know, however, that the lens itself isn't included in the product, it's just the camera body. You'll have to source a low-light lens yourself if this is the option for you. Pros: high ISO settings, ideal for low-light shooting. Intelligent viewfinder makes wide-angle photography easy. 24.2 megapixel CMOS sensors capture images at a high resolution. Sleek black matte body makes this a stylish piece of kit. Cons: the lens isn't included in this product. If you set the ISOs too high, the video quality can get reduced. Number 3. Blackmagic Cinns A10 HD MFT 4K point and shoot camera for low light. The product at the midpoint on our list is a camera that's very effective, but is also very effective at lightening your wallet, the Blackmagic Design Pocket Cinema Camera. The first impressions from the feel of this camera are that it's a very compact and lightweight model, being made from carbon fiber composite. Despite its size, it packs a powerful 4096 by 2160 resolution and is a performance powerhouse at videography thanks to its 4K DKI 60 frames per second video recording capability. You control the action via an LCD touch screen that's spread 5 inches across the back of this model, limiting the amount of buttons and so making it as easy to use as a piece of tech like this can possibly be. The videoing capability makes this camera, in our considered opinion, better as a videography camera rather than a photography camera. This isn't just because of that 4K 60 frames per second recording capability, but also because it has built-in microphones that offer good sound quality. As mentioned, it's also quite expensive and so seems to us a product for those of you who are serious about your camera work. Pros: high-resolution pictures and video, easy-to-operate 5-inch LCD touchscreen, microphones offer good sound quality, ideal for videoing, compact and lightweight carbon fiber build. Cons: more suited to videoing than photography, body only, lens not included, expensive compared to other items on the list. Number 4. Canon G7X Mark II point and shoot camera for low light. The PowerShot G7X Mark II. It works off of a large 1-inch 20.1 megapixel CMOS sensor that takes high-quality images and a TTL autofocus system which reduces blur, especially on wide-angled shots. Those wide-angled shots carry an aperture value of f/1.8 that turns to f/2.8 when zoomed in. This camera wastes no time in capturing images by snapping at a consistent 8 frames per second. This camera is also capable of Wi-Fi connectivity, allowing you to post images online. It's operated by a 3-inch LCD monitor that's capable of tilting up 180 degrees or down 45 degrees in order to take angled photographs. However, speaking of degrees, this camera is limited by the fact that it can only operate in temperatures of 0 to 40 degrees Celsius, or 32 to 104 Fahrenheit, before beginning to malfunction. Pros: large 1-inch 20.1 megapixel CMOS sensor captures high-quality images, and a TTL autofocus system to reduce blur, f/1.8 aperture value at wide angles and f/2.8 when zoomed to 4.2x, continuously shoots at 8 frames per second, 3-inch LCD monitor that can tilt up or down for angled photography, built-in Wi-Fi. Cons: restricted to operating temperatures of 0 to 40 degrees Celsius, 32 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, battery pack needs to be bought separately. The video mode is good rather than great. It supports 1080p recording at frame rates up to 60 frames per second, and the touchscreen is particularly useful for on-the-fly autofocus adjustments. Number 5. Nikon Coolpix A10 point and shoot camera for low light. The Nikon Coolpix A10, a compact and chromed-out camera that's light on the wallet. Its CCD image sensor shoots to the tune of 16.1 megapixels, allowing for good photos and the shooting of videos at 720p in HD. It has a built-in glass lens capable of zooming in up to 5 times, which belongs to Nikon's in-house brand Nikon and so benefits from its purpose-built compatibility with the rest of the camera. It has a quaint 2.7-inch LCD display that makes this camera a breeze to operate, and it accepts a wide range of batteries whether they're alkaline, lithium or of Nikon's own rechargeable make. The problem there is the fact that this camera retails with no battery pack, and so it needs to be bought separately. As said, it's also very affordable to the point that it's the cheapest on the list, but it also must be said that it's the least powered too. Still, it's a more than viable option for those who need a little low light performance on a budget. Pros: 16.1 megapixel CCD image sensor for good photos and 720p HD video, built-in 5x optical zoom Nikon glass lens, 2.7-inch LCD display, accepts a wide range of batteries, very affordable, cheapest on the list. Cons: battery pack needs to be bought separately, is the lowest powered camera on this list. Check out reviews on Amazon.